We are working on the Connect 4 project from the YByte Python curriculum available at www.ybyte.in. Having built the player turn in the last video, let's now turn our attention towards the computer. In this video, we will look at how we can create the basic computer turn. In fact, right now, our computer is going to be quite simple. It's just going to pick up any available column and put the coin over there. So all we'll do really is to figure out, well, which are the columns that are available, assuming something is open. So if something is indeed open, we will choose a column randomly from the columns that are open. Now, clearly, this is something that can be improved, because like we discussed, like we saw earlier, in reality, the computer should ideally play in a way that, either tries to win or at the very least tries to stop us from winning. But anyway, keeping it simple, right now we just say, okay, let me just pick up a column randomly. In that column, I figure out the lowest available row. And on that position, I go and set, for example, the row, the value to be 2, because remember, that's a computer turn. And when I draw the board later on, it becomes, let's say, a computer coin. Let's see this in action again. So I come back to my code over here. I just define, let's say, a new function here. Lots and lots of functions, so I have to be careful here. So I just say def, let's say, play C. So this essentially the computer turn. Let me just write that computer turn. Like I said, we just first figure out what are the columns that are available for the computer to play. So I just go and say calls available, let's say avail are, well, find, let's say, open calls, from the board. So figure out what are the columns that are open, assuming something is indeed open, right? So if something is indeed open, so I just go and say, well, if len of, let's say, calls available is, say, greater than 0, so assuming this list does not become empty, which means something is available, I will, like I said, randomly pick up a column from, let's say, random dot choice, calls available. So I'll just pick up a random column, and within this column I must figure out the available row. So I just say available, let's say, row is, well, lowest row inside this column. So basically the column has been picked up randomly, but having done that, I must then figure out the row that I can play in, and at that position I will go and, let's say, make this, for example, 2, and I will then, let's say, draw the board again. Now remember, the draw board is already equipped with handling, let's say, 1 and 2 and so on. Of course, in order for me to be able to use random.choice, I must go and import random from here. So I just go and import random. When I run this piece of code, so of course I can click the player turn here. Right now the mechanism to have alternating turns and the entire game loop is not ready, but nonetheless I can still try to test my code here by saying play C. So if I do play C, it played in any random column. In fact, that's what it's doing. It's just randomly picking up a column, and you can see that it's playing in the lowest available row in that column. For example, when it played in this column, it played at the lowest available row, which was 5. When it played in this column, it played it here. Now this is obviously just the bare bones computer turn. We will next come back and put it all together in a loop, in the proper game loop, so that the turns alternate and we also move the game forward. I hope you found this interesting. In general, making activities makes concepts much, much more clearer. And that is how we learn Python programming at YByte. Look at our website, www.ybyte.in. We have lots and lots of activities through which we learn Python programming. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.